beautiful almost spring day in Knoxville. Later, we'll have a special one-on-one interview with SGA President nominee Jake Baker. But first, the UT Economics Club raked in $12,000 cash this past week and a free trip to Washington, D.C. The club won the IOME Challenge and developed a video promo and essay proposing a policy that they will present to Congress this year. The policy created incentives and a plan to help prepare our generation for their future financial needs. Their plan focused on adding financial literacy classes to high school and college curriculum and created a government website to aid in budgeting and financial planning for our generation. The IOME Challenge is a financial literacy organization founded in 2009 focused on addressing the nation's financial crisis to inspire college students to save for retirement. According to the 2014 U.S. News and World Report, the UT Graduate Nuclear Engineering Program now ranks 5th among public universities and 6th in the nation overall. This reflects a steady annual increase in the rankings of the UT College of Engineering. UT student Alex Powers offered his opinion on the rankings.
I think that's great. I mean, to be top 10 in anything is a great accomplishment. I'm sure it'll bring a lot of distinguished professors and research. And I know UT's trying to be a top, 25 research university. So I'm sure that'll definitely help boost that.
In the same report, the undergraduate program was rated 36th. Chancellor Cheek said this honor is another step towards making UT a top 25 public research university. UT hosted Recycle Olympics in the Humanities Amphitheater on Tuesday. The competition is a part of Recycle Mania, an 8-week program in which colleges across the nation compete to recycle the most each week. Some of the crowd-pleasing recycling activities include phone book shot put, plastic bottle free throw, and bottle cap in a haystack. The Vols are currently trailing the University of Florida Gators, but hope to come back and win before the end of the Recycle Mania on March 27th. This newscast is brought to you by TVC, the Volunteer Channel. Our own Sean Franklin has an in-depth look at what makes TVC great and how it affects students.
We also have a clip player where if clips come through, if I have extras of you guys, I'll probably have you guys play clips.
Jackie Del Pilar gets to teach others about something she's passionate about, television production. The reason? She's a producer at UT's student-run television station, the Volunteer Channel.
I started off as a freshman in TVC and as 175 student, and then because of my experience in high school, my producer realized that I had a lot of experience, and she actually promoted me to producer, and she left the show. So I was kind of thrown into it, but it ended up working out because I was able to learn a lot more early on, and then I've just kind of stuck with it ever since and just improved every year.
But the improvement the UT juniors saw can only happen with the right resources. Mike Wiseman is the Director of Operations at TVC, and he's busy giving students like Jackie tools for success.
We're upgrading the equipment. We're purchasing more equipment so kids can get more hands-on experience with the latest and greatest. We've increased our editing bay size. We've got 15 edit bays now.
And with those resources, like this high-definition studio here on campus, Wiseman says the sky's the limit for TVC. He's just got to figure out how to raise campus awareness about the student-run television station.
And part of his plan? Added the programming.
We're going to start having TVC on 24 hours a day in all of the dining halls. We are getting first-run movies that will be starting next month in addition to our own programming. It's on its way to becoming something bigger and better, and I think we're just taking baby steps right now to get it in that direction.
And whether it's baby steps or giant leaps, TVC's making progress toward its goal. Create TV-related opportunities for students from any major across campus. For UT Today, I'm Sean Franklin.
And after the break, we'll have an interview with Baker Atchley's nominee for president, Jake Baker. Stay tuned.
Big orange is our color. Big ideas feed the fire of the volunteer. When you see 16 million colors on a computer screen, understand a Tennessee graduate helped put them there. A Tennessee graduate made it possible for you to hold a conversation with a satellite in the palm of your hand. Our ideas touch your life in ways you can't imagine. Orange is simply a color. Big Orange is a way of life.
The University of Tennessee. Big Orange, big ideas.
Rooted in excellence. For every patient, every time. Covenant Health rises to the top. In a study to determine best performing health systems, Covenant Health now ranks among the top 5% in the nation. Nationally honored for outstanding quality, Covenant hospitals and physicians provide better care, have higher patient satisfaction, and save more lives. 8 hospitals standing strong as one. Covenant Health.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Until I decided to run away. And then I met him. I thought he was my boyfriend. He made me feel wanted and loved. I trusted him. So even when things went bad, I stayed. I had nowhere else to go. The things he made me do, he kept me under his control. I was worthless. But I'm not the only one.
It is estimated that there are up to 300,000 minors at risk of being sexually exploited in the U.S. each year. 1 of 4 children who run away from home are approached for commercial sexual exploitation within 48 hours of running away. From 2009 to 2011, 4 Tennessee counties reported more than 100 cases of minor human sex trafficking.
They say it can happen to anyone. I just never thought it would happen to me. SGA election week is just a few weeks away here at UT, with 3 campaigns reaching out to students. One of those is the Baker-Atchley campaign, with presidential candidate Jake Baker and vice presidential candidate Paige Atchley. Yesterday, they released a video describing some of their ideas. Check it out.
Student Government President.
And my name is Paige Atchley, and I'm running for Student Government Vice President.
Everybody's been asking us what the name of our campaign is going to be. But we're not running on a verb, we're just running on our last names. Because if we do get elected, we want you to know who you voted for and who's going to be in office representing you.
Our policy is different from the SGA campaign's policies in the past.
Paige and I are tired of seeing vague policy released by SGA campaigns. That's why we're releasing all of our policy in a what, how format.
Instead of giving you a long list of things that you don't really care about, we're giving you a short, concise list of things that will benefit you as a student at the University of Tennessee.
We're not just going to tell you what we want to do, we're going to tell you how SGA can actually accomplish it.
We think you should vote for us because we're passionate about the University of Tennessee and we know what it takes to get things done.
Every campaign promises you change, but we've started that now.
We're Baker-Atchley. Real names,
real results.
And here with us now is the candidate himself, Jake Baker. Jake, thanks for being with us today. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited. Okay, so tell me about how you got your campaign started and how you guys became a team.
Okay. Well, the past few years at UT, there's always been 2 major presidential campaigns. But last year, we kind of noticed that the student body was kind of looking for something a little bit different. So 2 campaigns formed this year, and then Paige Atchley and I got together and realized that there was potential for a 3rd campaign to be very successful this year. So we kind of got together and formed Baker-Atchley. Paige and I have worked together in SGA since we've been at UT. We were on freshman council together back in 2010, and now we're running together.
Well, that's great. So tell me about your past experiences with SGA. How have they shaped your campaign this year?
Okay. Well, specifically with SGA, Paige and I were both involved in freshman council our first year here at UT. And then since then, we've moved on to the student senate. I sat on the Senate executive board last year, and I'm currently one of the advisors for freshman council. Paige has also remained very active within SGA. So we kind of have a good grasp on the organization, and we think we have the leadership skills necessary to take it to that next step.
Awesome. Okay, so I know most campaigns have 3 candidates. Why are you guys just running alone?
Okay. Like I said, there's usually just 2 main campaigns, and Paige and I were the 3rd campaign to form. When we started our campaign, we didn't want to just bring in a 3rd person just to have a full campaign. Me and Paige thought we were the absolute best candidates for the position of president and vice president, and we didn't want to bring on a 3rd just to have that person there. We're very happy with the 2 people that are running for Director of Student Services. We think both of them could do an excellent job, and we'd have no issues working with them, so we didn't feel it was necessary to bring in a 3rd person just to have them there.
Alrighty, so I know you guys aren't running under a verb, and that's kind of your big thing, just running under your last name. So tell me a little bit about that choice you guys made.
That choice seemed obvious to us. There's been a huge issue with transparency in SGA over the past few years because you hear all about these campaigns for like a few weeks in the spring, and then after elections are over, you never really hear that much about them after that. So Paige and I are running on our last name so that if we do get elected, you actually know who you voted for and then who's going to be representing you. We think it's going to hold us accountable because if people know they voted for Jake Baker and Paige Ashley, they're going to know who to turn to if they have a complaint rather than a verb that is kind of ambiguous.
Okay, so speaking of Paige, tell me a little bit about your candidate, your partner.
Okay. Paige, actually, she's definitely my partner in crime. She is one of the most passionate people that I know about everything she's involved in. Paige and I were on freshman council our first year together, and like I said, we've been working together ever since. She's one of the most involved people I know on our campus. She's absolutely great. I couldn't be asking for somebody better to be running with.
Sounds like a great partner you have there. So tell me about some of the policy points that you're most excited about and something that maybe will make students vote for you.
Okay. I think one thing that sets our policy apart from anybody else is how we're releasing it. So many times I've seen campaigns release policy points saying that they want to increase safety on campus, but they don't really say how SGA can actually accomplish that. All of our policy, we're releasing it in the what, how format. So we're not just telling you what we want to do, we're going to tell you how we can actually accomplish that. So we have small things like we want to get Scantrons put in the pod markets because they're currently not there. And how SGA could accomplish that is by meeting with UT Dining and the bookstore to just kind of facilitate that conversation that students need that. We're also doing big things like hoping to create a walk-in clinic, like a Walgreens type minute clinic at the Student Health Center.
Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit about your upcoming events for the campaign.
Okay. Our first major event is this Thursday night. We're having like a throwback Thursday in Humes Hall multi-purpose room. We're going to have a cereal bar. The N64 is going to be set up, and we're going to have cartoons. One of the big themes for our campaign is Feels Like 98. That's when the Vols won their last national championship. So we're kind of going with the whole school spirit thing, like 90s throwback. But we're going to be there answering questions, just trying to get to know as many potential voters as possible.
Awesome. So you guys are going to Instagram some TBT pictures on
absolutely,
Throwback Thursday?
Absolutely.
So why should people vote for you?
I think Paige and I, we have the best ideas out there right now. So many times we've heard people say SGA is useless, SGA is pointless, they can't actually do anything on our campus. But our policy kind of sets us apart. We're telling you how SGA can actually accomplish these things that we're promising. Again, we're running on our last names to hold ourselves accountable so you know who your candidates actually are. We're not a verb, we're actually people trying to make a difference on our campus.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and being with us today. We look forward to seeing what happens in this election. To find out more about the Baker Ashley campaign, check out their Facebook page, facebook.com/Baker Ashley, and follow them on Twitter. Voting begins on April 3rd. After the break, we'll have your UT Sports Report. Stay tuned.
Rooted in excellence. For every patient, every time. Covenant Health rises to the top. In a study to determine best performing health systems, Covenant Health now ranks among the top 5% in the nation. Nationally honored for outstanding quality, Covenant hospitals and physicians provide better care, have higher patient satisfaction, and save more lives. 8 hospitals standing strong as one. Covenant Health.
Big orange is our color. Big ideas feed the fire of the volunteer. When you see 16 million colors on a computer screen, understand a Tennessee graduate helped put them there. A Tennessee graduate made it possible for you to hold a conversation with a satellite in the palm of your hand. Our ideas touch your life in ways you can't imagine. Orange is simply a color. Big orange is a way of life.
The University of Tennessee. Big orange, big ideas.
Join the studio audience for Knoxville's live radio and television show, the third Thursday of each month in downtown Knoxville. Scruffy City Ramble celebrates Tennessee's roots as the birthplace of popular music from rock and roll to country. Join us live or tune into the show broadcasts on PBS and 90.3 The Rock. Plus, catch Scruffy City Rewind right here on WBIR every Saturday night. For details, visit scruffycityramble.com.
Both the men's and women's basketball teams saw great action this week. The men won for the 8th time in 9 games and locked up the 5th seed in the SEC tournament with a 64-62 win over Missouri at home. Guard Jordan McRae scored 15 points and forward Jarnell Stokes added 13 points and grabbed 13 rebounds for his 14th double-double of the season. Trey Golden added 12 points and Josh Richardson tallied 11. the Vols will take on the winner of the South Carolina-Mississippi State game on Thursday at 3:30. Meanwhile, the 9th-ranked Lady Vols lost to number 19 Texas A&M 66-62 in the semifinals of the SEC tournament at the Arena at Gwinnett Center. Tabor Spaney scored a career-high 33, and guard Megan Simmons had the 10 points on the diamond. The baseball team completed a series sweep over Alcorn State with a 12-4 victory at Lindsey Nelson Stadium on Sunday. The Vols outscored Alcorn State 41-10 in the series, including a 16-0 shutout on Friday. The number 8-ranked Lady Vol softball team finished a 3-game series against Alabama 2-1 with a loss on 7-1 at home. They won the first 2 games against the Crimson Tide 4-3 and 2-1. In Vol tennis, the number 10-ranked men lost to Ole Miss in Oxford, while the women beat Ole Miss 4-3 at home. Both will be back in action on Friday.
Engage is hosting a free pancake night on Wednesday at 9 p.m. in the Black Cultural Center. The candidates will be present to answer questions and tell attendees more about their goals for SGA. Baker Atchley is hosting a Throwback Thursday on Thursday night from 8 to 9 in the Humes Hall East Multipurpose Room. There will be 90s cartoons, Nintendo 64 games, and a chance to talk about the candidates. Sounds like fun. Thanks for tuning in this week. Check us out next week for another look at what's happening at UT.